The Kentucky Wildcats blow out Lipscomb. But what stood out about this game is what their head coach had to say after the Cats got the W. That's going to be the conversation on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer and editor over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash. He's got a big day traveling. He's heading up to Chicago. How you feeling about this big weekend we got coming up here?
I'm excited. A little nervous. Pre-planning for these. Not a big flyer. Don't love with you. Fly a good amount, but don't like to do it. So I've taken matters in my own hands of getting ready for these flights. It might be a little booze before the plane. Never don't know for sure.
Sprite before you get on.
Yeah.
Got to. But Carson, we'll get into the game. Great win for the Cats. We'll talk about all of it without any doubt. We're going to break down this entire game. But to me, what stood out was what their coach had to say after the game. Head coach Lenny Acuff of Lipscomb. This is a long quote, and your favorite podcast host struggles to read, so just bear with me here. I know most of the guys in the SEC don't know him, talking about Coach Pope, but I can tell you I'm tremendously impressed. Tremendously impressed. We play a lot of these games. I assume he's talking about, gets good, teams, Division I teams, or not Division I, but SEC, ACC, Power 4 type schools. We play a lot of them, and we've done well in a lot of them. But that's the best offensive Power 4 team we've played in my 6 years at Lipscomb. I'll tell you what, if Lamont Butler, Jackson Robinson, and Kobe Brea play like that, they're going to be a tough out. When we play these games, a lot of times it's defensive. It's on the defensive end. They really get after us on defense. I think they are underrated defensively, talking about Kentucky, but I think we had good shots. So he's talking about they're a fine defensive team, but he's going to go on to talk about their offense. If the ball does not go in, it's a hard game, but you make one mistake or you are 1/2 second late, it's 3 points, talking about the Cats. And if they went 12 of 25 and we fouled them for 3 more on 3, so good for them. I know what basketball means to Kentucky. You're going to have a team that's fun to cheer for. I'll tell you that. That to me, Carson, that is some really, really high praise from a coach, once again, that's been at a school for a long time.
And to not even stop and take a breath while he was speaking. No periods at all.
Yeah. Are you implying that okay. All right. We'll see you all next Tuesday. Peace. I've had enough from this guy.
No. How can you not be excited with those comments? Lipscomb does play a bunch of good opponents. They played Arkansas this year. But him saying that and saying we're the best team he's seen in offensively in the past 6 years. Yeah. That's pretty impressive.
It's high. It's high praise, and I think it's warranted. I think Coach Pope already runs an elite offense, and now he's got the players to run it eliter. You know what I mean? Seriously,
yes,
he's
on par with the show today.
Yeah, he's precisely. But it's just a game. I did the math. I believe it was 72.6 is the points per game that Lipscomb was allowing heading into this game. They played Arkansas, obviously not much besides Arkansas, but still a team giving up 72.6 points per contest. You hang 97. No disrespect to Perry and Trenton Noah. You leave in our guys, we score 115. Those guys came in with 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And also, the score was wider. I bet you they went on a 25 run.
That's what I'm saying. Here's the difference between our game and that Arkansas game was we were up by 40, and then it came down to 29. They were up by 5, and then it went to 16 or however much they beat them by.
Yeah, this could have been 50 points if we kept, you know what I mean? It really could have been. Obviously, I love Coach Pope putting those guys in. I'm glad, especially when we still cover. Good.
Yeah. Hey, I told you, made some money off of the cover there.
Yes, but from this game, that quote, I wanted to start the show talking about that quote because it's important. It's big. It says a lot about this team. But Carson, what stood out to you when it came to a player, a part of the game? What stood out to you most about the Cats' big win over Lipscomb?
Well, yeah, piggybacking off what I said before the game, I thought we saw exactly what I wanted to see, a fast start. we kind of stepped on their necks from the beginning. No lackluster performance after a big win, which is great to see. It seems that everyone was locked in, and we had a big performance from J-Rob. We got J-Rob back, and he had 20, it seemed like, in 5 minutes. So nothing wrong with him, like we knew there wasn't going to be. But a good win, really, really, really good win. And like you said, if they don't put Travis and Trent and all those guys in with 6 minutes left, I mean, we're looking at a 40-point win. We score 110 points, that's a really, really good win, because Lipscomb's going to be, if not the best team in the A-Sun, they'll be a top 3 team in the A-Sun.
They'll be a tournament basketball team.
Yeah.
Without question. So, I mean, pulling up the stats on this game, like you said, Robinson, 20 points. But it's an efficient 20, 6 of 10, 3 of 6 from deep. That'll play every single time.
He's one of those guys still that, like, he'll score 20. You don't even know he's in there.
Exactly.
Like, I was like, Robinson has 20 already? What in the world?
And then Otega Owe had 14 points. Wish he'd have scored one more. That would have been convenient.
Oh, you took him. You took him with 50.
But he played 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
It was weird. And once again, I'm not griping about playing. I mean, he got 2 fouls and Coach Pope arrested him. He didn't need to do that. You know what I mean? Like, but you might need to do that in an SEC game. So Otega missed out on 10 minutes of game time because of those 2 fouls and then, the final 6 minutes of the game. But so Otega Owe, once again, point is 5 of 6 from the field. It's scary to think what he does if he plays 25 minutes or 27 minutes in this game.
He's a stud.
Exactly right. But I mean, so you get 16 Butler, man. I think his 16 was more impressive than J-Rob's 20.
No, I agree.
It was 6 of 8, 3 of 3 from deep, and he just looks great defensively. I mean, he just looks so good defensively. You know who else stood out to me, Carson? And I mean, he stands out every game. But Amari Williams on the glass, he cleans the glass so darn well. And it's so valuable to this team. He has, you got to have a rock solid rebounder. And Amari Williams is that guy, and he grabs them the right way. I mean, remember how Sheboy used to grab rebounds? Like, that ball is not going anywhere else. It seems like that's how Williams, he gets up there, grabs it with 2 hands and pulls it down, and it's not going anywhere else.
You want to know what's almost even more impressive than Amari Williams' 11 rebounds?
What?
Jackson Robinson and Kobe Brea's 7 apiece.
Yeah.
That's when your guards can rebound like that, that's a different type of weapon.
When you're getting rebounds from those guys, I mean, 4 from Owe, like you said, 5. Oh, Garrison's a center. You hope to get 5 from him. But yes, the 7 from Brea and Robinson, that is going to help a lot. That is going to help you out a ton. You got to get some help on the glass from those guys because it can't just all be Carr and Williams.
That shows that Pope has emphasized rebounding with this team because it shows to me that they've either hung back a little bit on the glass and rebound on the defensive end or being more aggressive on the offensive end.
Yeah.
But it looks to me like it's mostly defensive effort, which is nice to see.
No question. Amari did. I was a little worried for a second. He kind of went to the side and was like, it looked like he was kind of like trying to even stretch out his. I mean, I'm not going to speculate on what he was trying to stretch out. I mean, I'm not a doctor.
Might have been a little cramp.
But I was worried for a minute. But then I was like, thank goodness he comes back in. It looks fine. Never went to the locker room or anything.
If we would have lost, dude, it would have been because of that.
Yeah. Well, are you kidding?
Dude.
Oh, that's funny. That's good. That was above my head, but that's really good. So no, that's a good one. But Amari, 4 of 5 from the field, back to an efficient game after not his most efficient against Duke. 4 of 5, 9 points. I think we do a great job as a team at the free throw line. We were 17 of 21 in this game. What are we on the season? It's got to be great, right? Am I? Wait, what do you think our free throw percentage? What's a good free throw percentage to you for a team?
I mean, I would take anything over like 77%. I think that would probably be.
Then we have not been as good as I thought. We are at 73.8. Who's not been good at the free throw line? Mari Williams at 52.6%.
Yeah.
He's got to dial that in.
Well, the problem is the guys that get to the line the most are the guys that aren't as good at shooting the free throws.
Yeah. Now, what I will take once again is we'll take Oweh shooting 80% from the free throw line.
Yeah, which is huge. We need him.
He's going to shoot. If I had to guess, he'll shoot the most free throws for our team.
Oh, yeah. Him or Amari will be.
Or Amari. Yeah. So Amari needs to get that up to around 70. From our 7-footer, I'd be fine with 70. Maybe 68. You know what I mean? I'd be fine with that. 52 ain't going to work. We can't have 1 or 2 every time you go up there, you know. Like if Amari Williams was shooting 10 free throws in the game, I would take 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10. I'd take that. 5 out of 10 is where I start to get a little angry. But I mean, the point I want to reiterate, a lot of people, you're going to hear people say, well, it's Lipscomb, right? Okay. Yeah, it is Lipscomb. What did we talk about in our show previewing this game a little bit, Carson? We said they're a top 25 mid-major team. They're going to win their conference more than likely. They're going to be in the NCAA tournament. They're the type of team that could randomly beat a 3 seed or a 2 seed. You know what I mean? They're a good basketball team. And
did you see that? They went on a run when Travis and Trent and all those guys came in. They went on a run.
This game was never at any point interesting.
No.
Against once again, it's a mid-major team, but it's a solid mid-major team. So people are going to call, well, who cares? It's Lipscomb. Yes, Lipscomb's a team that's going to make the NCAA tournament. You know what I mean? Who cares how you know? Do you want to beat them in March? Like it's a tournament team. It's a big win because
I think the statement is beating them the way we did, because I think they are a really good team, and just absolutely having a no contest with a team like that is a big positive.
Winning this game by 29 points, you know, it should have been 40. I mean, you cover by almost 10 double digits, and it should have been more than that. I mean, you take that all day long. Vegas had this about 20.5, whatever it was. This was, or when the game started, this was a good win for this basketball team. But Butler, once again, I mean, he's going to have those games where he gives you 15, 18, 20 points. He'll have a few of them. I figure he'll be around 10 points most nights, but then I'll have those bump nights where he goes for 15 to 20 range. Did any of the non-starters stand out to you in this game, Carson?
I think BG is just continuing to play good. I like him a lot. I think his motor impacts the game on both sides. I just think he's always doing something right. He's always moving. He's always finding the next great thing to do for this team. I thought there was one play in particular. I thought Colin Chandler looked good on that.
Underhand. That was
the pass.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was what a play. I wish Amari would have done like a windmill or something.
That would have made it cooler. Yeah, you got to know that. There's times where you need to bring out a cool dunk, and that was one. Like, come on. Put it on 8.5. I would have windmilled it. Come on. Or 8. You know, I mean, what are we doing here? Maybe 7.
And then another non-starter is, of course, the best shooter in the country, Kobe Brea. I mean, does that dude even miss? Does he ever miss?
He's 15 of 19 from 3 on the season. So you could act like that's basically, let's add one to it. Let's add one to it and pretend like he missed it. Okay.
Yeah, 15 of 20.
That means he's shooting 5 a game at 75%. That'll work. That'll work.
That's unheard of. That's unreal.
It is a big enough sample size. And it's funny because I wrote in an article today, I think in the postgame article, I was like, obviously 75% is not sustainable. And yes, folks, I know that it's not sustainable, but I mean, maybe 50's sustainable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just every time he shoots the ball, I'm like, well, there's 3 points. I mean, he's just he could get to a point where, and you want to hear our problem? Who do you take off the floor?
Yeah.
You can't take off Oweh. You can't take off Robinson. I don't know what you do. I wish they could all, you know what I mean? They're all that good. We have a serious problem, and I don't think it's fixable. And it's that we have too many really good basketball players.
At that point, you go to the death lineup, and then you put either J-Rob or Brea at the 4 and run Andrew Carr at the 5 and just go lights. We're just shooting and put Kerr at the 1. So you just have a lineup.
Go.
Yeah.
I think there'd be a tear in my eye if I got to see that for 10 minutes.
That would be unreal.
Any other thoughts on the game, Carson? I want to run through bracketology here before we call it a day.
No, but did you happen to check out did you see number 15 when we were playing them?
For the other team?
Yeah. Did you see his shorts?
I mean,
He is the shortest shorts I have ever seen in my life. I was watching the game and I was talking to Cam. I was like, "Oh, there's George Meakin out on the court," and he shot like he looked like, and he played like he was from the 1950s.
All right, hold on. Let's pull up the highlight here and see.
Dude, you'll be like, "What in the world?"
I mean, I'm sure.
And he was the high jump champion at. He had been a high jumper before playing basketball.
All right, here. There's been ads playing on ESPN before I can watch this. But I'm sure I noticed it. I just like, did it stand out?
Oh, I thought it was the funniest thing.
Well, here, okay, this video, I'll be able to see this in about 2 seconds. Let's see. Let's get an instant reaction to this. All right. Where is he?
I hope it's the one that shows his jump shot.
That's awesome. I think it was hard to tell because the shorts were like yellow, so like the skin, crazy. That's a lot of thigh. That's more thigh than
I've seen shorts, but those are like.
And it was even funnier because the video I pulled up was like a turnaround jump shot, and he just looked. That was really good. That made my day right there.
I was laughing so hard last night just watching him play.
That was great.
I love it.
Gosh. Okay. Oh man. But bracketology, and we're not going to sit here and talk about, this has us going here. We're not doing that. If you want to know the destination that has us going to Raleigh. But we're a 3 seed. The reason I want to bring up bracketology was not to sit here and run through it doesn't matter in any way, shape, or form right now. What does matter is, Lunardi's starting to believe. I think we were a 6 seed forever and ever and ever and ever. And now we're all the way up to a 3 seed. 4 games into the year, the belief is there that this team can be a 3 seed. And if you would have told me in year 1 under Mark Pope, we're going to be a 3 seed, I would have said, yes, thank you very much. Please. Good. Thank you. Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So 3 seed, Carson, what do you believe that's sustainable? How do you feel about it? Can we do better? Are we going to do worse? What do you think about 3 seed?
In my opinion, of course you can do better for sure. Yeah. It's definitely still on the table. But I like where we're at right now. That's pretty fair. I mean, you beat Duke. You still don't know a ton about this team. I mean, you know good about them. Good enough about. Gosh, I am just having a day today. Yeah, I need the pre-playing booze. I think so.
Sprite.
But once you learn enough about them, then we'll be able to finally see what they truly are. I think. When we play Gonzaga, after the Gonzaga game is when we'll truly know how good this team is, in my opinion. I think that'll be a good enough sample size.
Yeah.
But right now with 3 seed, I'm happy. Of course, I want us to be a 1, but I'll take a 3 seed.
The other thing about that Gonzaga game, not to sit here and start, yapping about a game that's not for a few, weeks, months. When is that? That's beginning of December? Mm-hmm. December 7th. So
yeah, we don't really play anyone big until December.
Exactly. Yeah, we play the rest of the month is Jackson State, Western Kentucky, and then Georgia State. Then we back-to-back Clemson,
Gonzaga.
That'll be a big week. You got to go. You got to, at worst case scenario, split that week.
Yeah.
But what I want to see, this is what I want to see, and it's the same thing I said heading into Duke. I don't care. I think that we beat Ohio State and Louisville. I really do. I
believe that too.
It's so. Even if you lose to both Clemson and Gonzaga and leave non-conference with 2 losses, like whatever, it's fine. I don't want to leave with more than 2 losses in non-conference. Because then I think if you lose, what? So what is 8? Let's say that. Let's play that game. Let's say you go 12-6 in SEC, which I think we're very capable of doing better than that. But I think that's a pretty safe, thing to say. If we have 8 losses, what would you guess our seed would be? Somewhere in that 4 or 5 range?
I'd say you could maybe even sneak into a 3 depending on what other teams do, because to be fair, I believe that Duke will be a top 5 team throughout the rest of the season. So I think that win's going to look really good on your resume.
Yeah.
So I think you could even slip up once in the SEC and still be fine. Because of, we're not used to having this resume boost this early in the season. So we're playing with house money a little bit right now.
Normally you need that road win over Tennessee or something to get that resume builder. So you're right, but I agree with you that's when we're really going to figure things out is Clemson and Gonzaga. But all I want to see, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to lose. I don't want to lose to Clemson. I don't want to lose to Gonzaga. I don't want to lose to Louisville. And now if we lose to Louisville, there's big problems because they are not great. But like Clemson, who'd Clemson lose to, by the way? They have a loss on here. Let's see.
They
Clemson lost to Boise State by 30. Yeah. Maybe Clemson's not very good.
I know. That's why I say Gonzaga. Because I think Clemson will be a tough environment. I just don't know how good they actually are.
Yeah. They beat Eastern Kentucky by 13 points. Does anyone we know play well on that? Do we know anybody on Eastern Kentucky anymore?
No, I don't know if we do anymore.
No. But point is, so now I'm just be honest with you. I think Ohio State is mid. They lost to Texas A&M, and we are the number one Texas A&M basketball hating podcast in the continental United States. They're not good. So they lose to A&M. Ohio State, I think they're solid. Clemson, I think they're okay. Gonzaga is really good. But that Gonzaga game, all I want to see, win or lose. I'm not saying this for a consolation prize. We're not moral victories a podcast here. But all I want to see is that you can hang around because it don't matter till March. I love getting the wins. I love that you already have banked a big time resume building win.
It was huge.
But it all this does to me, if you lose to Gonzaga by 2 points in Seattle, I tip my cap and I say, hey, we can hang with everybody in college basketball. And you can take that confidence into SEC play and into March. So that's what I want to see. I'd love to win the game, but I'm just saying don't go and get blown up by 40 and we go, oh man, are we maybe not that good? Which I don't think that's going to be an issue, but I'm saying prove that we belong. And then when you get to March, get hot. The sky is the limit. The sky is
what would you say the percentages are on 1 loss for the non-con, 2 or 3+?
I just don't think Mark Pope is going to lose to a team he's not supposed to. Now, who I mean by that does not mean Ohio State and Louisville. Obviously, I believe we should win those games. I'm talking about Jackson State, Lipscomb. So assuming you beat Jackson State, Western Kentucky, Georgia State, shouldn't be no issue there. Brown, Colgate, should be no issue there. That leaves you with 4 games. Louisville at home, Ohio State, New York City, Gonzaga, Seattle. Seattle. Bad day. Seattle. Clemson in Clemson. I think 3-1, I'd say 50%. I'd say 4-0, I'd say probably 25%. It's realistic. Probably you're going to slip up, I think, in non-conference. And if you don't, you're probably the number 1 team in college basketball.
Yeah. That is fair. I mean, if you do go and beat Gonzaga and don't lose to Clemson and Ohio State and Louisville, then you're probably
I kind of think, I'll be honest with you, I'm changing my 3-1 to 60%.
Because what I was saying.
I don't think that we beat Gonzaga. I really don't in Seattle.
But I think we do beat Clemson.
But I think we beat Clemson, Louisville, and Ohio State.
Yeah.
And you go 3. So I think 3-1, I'm going to say 60%. I think 2-2, I'm going to go 40%. And then you said 1 win. I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't. I mean, there's a world where it happens, but I don't see it happening. So I think realistic. And I would love if we left non-conference play with 1 loss and it's not to Ligma State. I mean, I'm going to feel really, really good. I mean, it's not, UGC, FWC. We're in a good spot. Once again, you can lose a game here and there. It's college basketball. It's not college football. So if we leave with 1 loss, I feel really good about where we're at. So
Carson, I agree. I think we'd be definitely top 5. What were you saying?
I said you got a flight to catch. Any other thoughts before we?
No, yeah, that's all I got. Another big win. We're looking really, really good. Yeah. I mean, I've never been this excited.
Every game we passed the eye test.
Yeah, every game. And how about shout out to Rupp Arena because it was sold out last night.
Good atmosphere last night. I was there. Great atmosphere. I thought. I'm with you.
Yeah, so that was great to see. But I'm completely bought in on this team. I know we have been for a while, but I love this team. I love these guys. I just wish they played more often. That's about it.
Yeah. Play every day. I would. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's all I got.
I'm with you. That's going to do it for this week here on the Wildcats Today podcast. We'll be back to y'all next week. The games next week, let me check this out. What do you plan?
With a little post-game Austin breakdown. You'll get to
hear
about
we'll be in Austin. The game against Western Kentucky is on Tuesday, so we'll bring a podcast to you on Monday, kind of talking about what happened against Jackson State, previewing Western Kentucky. Hope everyone has a great weekend. We'll be in Austin rooting on the Cats. Hey, you never know. Crazier things have happened. We'll see. We'll be there for a good old time in Austin. Austin, watch out. Here we come.
There may be a bull riding video of Andrew coming next week. We don't know yet.
Yes. Of me doing what?
Riding the bull.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. We can. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the game on Friday. Enjoy the game on Saturday. And we will see y'all on Monday right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.